Hello everyone. Today we are starting a new chapter, which is chapter number 14, statistics. Now first we will discuss the content or the concept which you have already studied in your earlier classes, and that is how to find out the mean of an ungrouped data. Suppose you have been given certain observations x1, x2, etc. xn, which are n in number. So how will you find out the mean of this given data? First of all, you will find out the sum of all these observations, that is x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn, and then divide the total sum by the number of observations, that is n. So that is the basic formula of finding out the mean of an ungrouped data. That is, if x bar is the notation used for finding out the mean or for mean, then mean of ungrouped data x bar will be given as summation. This is the symbol for sigma, summation, that is sum of all the observations xi divided by n, where xi is the given as the observations, that is x1, x2, etc. xn. Suppose you have n observations, then you will say that this sigma xi is same as x1 plus x2 plus etc. plus xn whole divided by n. This is the meaning of sigma xi, that is the numerator is the expansion x1 plus x2 etc. plus xn. That by n will give you the x bar or mean of the ungrouped data. Now here in this chapter we are discussing about how to find out the mean of a grouped data, that is ungrouped data is clear. Now if you have been given grouped data, how will you find out the mean? That means you will be given, suppose x1 repeating sometimes, that will be taken as the frequency. So x1 suppose repeating f1 times, x2 repeating f2 times, etc. xn repeating fn times, then how will you find out the mean of that data? Okay, suppose x1, x2, x3, etc. xn are the observations, and f1, f2, f3, etc. fn are the frequencies related to each of them respectively. That means x1, what is the meaning of this? This is your observation and this is the frequency. The meaning is x1 is repeating f1 times, x2 is repeating f2 times, etc. xn is repeating fn times. So in order to find out the mean of this grouped data, what we will do is first we have to find out the sum of these products, that is x1 f1 plus x2 f2 plus x3 f3 plus etc. plus xn fn. So in the other method, that is same as sum of all those observations, that will be same as this, taking as the product and then taking the sum. Okay, so you are getting x1 f1 plus x2 f2 plus x3 f3 plus etc. plus xn fn whole divided by the sum of the observations, the number of the observations, and that number will be got from adding these frequencies. That means f1 plus f2 plus etc. plus fn. Okay, I'll write f3 also, plus etc. plus fn. This will be your x bar when it is grouped and given. Okay, the data is grouped and given, and this can be again rewritten as, writing like this is a tiring process, so we will just reduce it using the summation symbol, that is sigma. Sigma, from where to where the suffix is varying, you can just see from 1 to n. So you can write sigma I equal to 1 to n xi fi divided by, again the suffix is from 1 to n. So it is sigma I equal to 1 to n fi. Both have the same meaning. Again, if we know that how many items are there, or here it is in general n, we can just simply write it as sigma fi xi by sigma fi also. Okay, so this is the formula for finding out the mean of a grouped data where the observations and the frequencies are given. Now if suppose you have been given the class interval and the corresponding frequencies, how will you find out the mean? Okay, for that first what we will do is we will find out the mid value of each of these class intervals. That means you have to find out the average of the upper and lower limit of each of the class. If suppose I am just taking an example, 0 to 10 is one interval, then what I need to do is I have to find out the average of this interval. That means 0 plus 10 by 2. Which will give you 10 by 2, which is 5. So this 5 will be acting as the class mark. It is actually the midpoint of this, the length 0 to 10. So that is known as the class mark. Okay, so next thing which you have to draw will be class mark. And this class mark will act as xi as in the earlier problems. Okay, so this is your fi, and this which you are getting by calculating the midpoint of each interval will give you the class mark. So you got this one and this one. After that what you need to do is the same thing, that is you have to find out what is fi xi. That means you have to multiply correspondingly the values. Okay, suppose this is 2 and here you have got 5. So 2 into 5, this is 10. Likewise you have to calculate all the things and you will get at last, you have to find out the sum of all these fi xi's. So that is your sigma fi xi. And here the total of these frequencies will give you sigma fi. Right? Therefore, from this you can find out the x bar with the same formula, that is sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. That means this value divided by this value. Okay, so when you have class intervals, you have to get another column, or you have to draw another column which is class mark, and you will get it after finding out the average of each interval, that is the midpoint of each interval. Okay, then the procedure is same after that. That means this will act as xi, this is fi. You have to find out the product of these two and take the sum of all those which you are getting here values, and then divide that value by the total number of frequencies, which will give you x bar. And this method is known as direct method. When you will be given the class interval and the frequency, and you are finding out the class mark and then finding out x bar, this method is known as direct method. Second method is assumed mean method. Now in this method, suppose your question has class intervals and frequencies given. Okay, so first what you will do, you will find out the class marks, and after finding out that, normally in your direct method what you will do, you will just multiply fi and xi, another column, and then take the sum of that and divide by the sum of the frequencies. Now if suppose the xi's which you have got, that means the class marks which you have got from finding out the middle or the average of these intervals is very high in value, okay, the values are very big, then what is the thing is, it will be very tedious to do the multiplication fi xi and then go for the sum of that and then find the x bar or the mean. So instead of doing that tedious process, what we will do is, after finding out these xi's, if suppose the xi values are very large, we will take an assumed mean. What do you mean by assumed mean? Means any of the values of xi's, most preferably their middle term, that is the middle one. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items here, so you will choose the third one as the assumed mean. If suppose you have 6, that is an even number, so it can be either the third or the fourth. Okay, that is up to you, because the x bar or the mean will not change even if you are taking any other value. Okay, so what the purpose is, here we will take this as A. Suppose you have 5 items, I have taken the third one, which is the middlemost one, as A. Okay, now the next process will be, we will be finding out, so this A which I have taken is known as the assumed mean. Okay, A is known as the assumed mean. That's why this method is known as assumed mean method. Now after finding out or after choosing the assumed mean, the next process is to get the deviations xi minus A. Xi means first xi is this one, so this minus A, what is the value? Second one minus A, what is the value? Third one minus A will give you automatically 0 only. The fourth one minus A, fifth one minus a, and that is denoted by dA. That's why its name is deviation. Okay, since it is deviation, this column is giving you the deviations from the assumed mean. What we are doing is making it as di, or the notation used will be di is equal to xi minus a. So here you got a column di. Okay, why we are doing this process is, after doing this step, the values which you are getting here as di's will be very small, so that the remaining calculation will be easy, because the next process is, again, this is now acting as your xi's. That means you have to take the product of fi and di as the next column. So next one will be fi into di. Okay, so first thing which we have found out is class marks. Then when the class marks are very high or the values are very large, you will take the middlemost value as the assumed mean, then find the deviations from the xi's for each one, that is denoted as di. After finding out di, you have to find out fi into di. Then you have to take the sum of this fi di, sum of all these. And then how will you get x bar, or the mean in this assumed mean method is, here we have subtracted a, right? So in order to get the final value, we have to compensate it. That means the opposite of subtraction will give you addition. So what I will do is a plus it will become. And for which one? For this process we have done like this, right? So the remaining, instead of fi xi, sigma fi xi by sigma fi, we will have a plus sigma fi di divided by sigma fi. Only for this is the denominator. Okay, a plus this quantity. So that will give you the same, approximately same answer as you are getting in your direct method. But this method will help you to calculate easily if the xi's are bigger. Okay. Explaining this formula mathematically, we will start with the known concept. That is, what we know is, normally we will define x bar as sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. So if we are replacing xi with di, we are just denoting sigma fi di divided by sigma fi as d bar. That is, it is the mean of the deviations. Okay, d bar is equal to this, because x bar is this. Now we are starting with d bar is equal to sigma fi di divided by sigma fi. Now what was di? It was the deviation from the assumed mean of each of the observations. That means di was xi minus a, right? Now we are just replacing this di with xi minus a, so that you will get sigma fi into xi minus a divided by sigma fi. Now we are just expanding or giving this sigma fi to both the terms in the numerator. So this will become sigma fi xi minus sigma fi a divided by sigma fi. So meaning of this is, you are just multiplying fi xi and then taking the sum. And the meaning of this is, actually a is only a number, so you can take it out from this sigma, because this sigma fi means the sum of all the frequencies, right? So here you will get, so here this can be again sigma fi is split and written for both the numerators. The denominator is written like sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi minus, again you can take out this a because it is a constant. So sigma fi divided by this will become sigma fi. So this will get cancelled and you will get here a only. And what is this? This is actually x bar, definition of x bar. So I am replacing this with x bar, and here this is a into 1, which is a. So I am getting d bar is equal to x bar minus a, or I can say x bar is equal to d bar plus a, or a plus d bar. Now what is d bar taken as? Is equal to a plus sigma fi di divided by sigma fi. So that is the formula given as x bar is equal to a plus sigma fi di divided by sigma fi. Okay, and this is known as assumed mean method.